No second-term nutter. We are federal crime victims that responsibly gather the evidence of conflict of interest, malpractice, for individual accountability. We report everything to Eric Holder, highest levels of law enforcement, and Pennsylvania Public Integrity Commission, asking for intervention for an official corruption, fraud, civil rights, state of emergency, which impacts public safety, education, and court reform in Philadelphia County. No second-term nutter. You go to the polls tomorrow, vote for a candidate. Federal crime victim voters require all candidates to recognize the existence of official corruption, fraud, civil rights, as defined by the U.S. Attorney's Office, having a definition. Federal crime victim voters are created when official corruption, fraud, civil rights felonies have been inflicted. Traffic court judge candidate, support Lewis Harris Jr. because he has the courage, the vision, the insight, and the responsibility to acknowledge the extortion components prevalent between traffic court databases and Philadelphia Parking Authority, which defrauds Recovery Act funding, abuses our law enforcement, and every working class student and impoverished family here in Philadelphia County. No second-term nutter. Support Lewis Harris Jr. What are your numbers?
160. Remember, 160 Lewis Harris Jr. for traffic court, and we're going to bring back our civil rights.
Yes.
ADA, parking authority is out of compliance with not allowing statute of limitation to be matched up with traffic court, which is 3 years. They're going back 22, 23, and 24 years back in time when people and stealing their cars through extortion, through the impoundment system, livestock, and that foodie. And I join in with these great people because what they're talking about is making sure that this city or any city in the United States do not violate our civil rights.
Join 100 Families and Growing Plan $1 billion class action will sue City of Philadelphia in conjunction with Unified Judicial System following New York's class action lead for civil rights violations against working class, student, and impoverished families in accordance with the U.S. Attorney's definition of what constitutes a federal crime victim. God bless everybody. I'm Roxanne Grinage, HireLyrics.
Excellent. Thanks for joining in with us. We support your efforts on civil rights on any level, including the mayor. And we ask that City Council have an emergency hearing to deal with the issues related to the violation that we have already mandated through a great young man named Lawrence P. Clark, who's running for City Council at large, who did the filing of an injunction against the city.
Yeah, we're HireLyrics Administrative Services.
Vote Lewis Harris. If you're a Democrat, push 160. Republicans push 14.
That is the name of our group.
We're going to stop these people from feeling that they are powerless. They're not powerless going in and out of that parking authority. We're going to stop their extortion. And we're going to stop the profiteering. The profiteering that's going on is ridiculous. They fraudulently take people and bring their cars to their impoundment, have people come to the city to try and deal with the impoundment issue at the parking authority, and find out that they're being profited by selling their cars because they make the cost too high for the average citizen to get their car back out.
And it's directly connected in retaliation. You can check the public databases controlled by .gov, Phila.gov. When one person tries to enact their constitutional and civil rights in one process, family court or child support enforcement, all of a sudden you see in the case of Roxanne Grinage, who complained about a public mob assault, child abduction, nepotism, corruption in the district attorney's office, and Mayor Michael Nutter's relatives, when she complained about that, was stopped in the middle of the night, forced her and her passengers forced to get out of her vehicle impounded with money orders and the car note and her wallet stolen from the vehicle, not allowed to retrieve contents of the vehicle. Warrant placed for her arrest, while liens, penalties, receiving bills, and fraudulent notices saying you can pay online. When you go to pay online, there is no account, there's none whatsoever. It's all set up to intimidate you. So you can't go into any court building and show your ID because there's always a warrant for your arrest hovering over you. and you can never act lawfully to enforce your civil rights, because you can't go into City Hall and show your ID because there's a warrant out for your arrest. Okay? That's the organized crime component of how sophisticated the conflict of interest is.
And when we go further, when we talk about organized crime, let's look at how they have even, when you go to retrieve your stuff from a parking lot, one of their lots that they impound, they make you give up detailed description as to what you've taken out of your own vehicle. And they will not allow you to take out anything that's not written down. What is that all about? That's what it is.
That's a felony. That's what makes us federal crime components. These components, these pieces of data that are gathered and verified are what we send as due diligence to highest levels of law enforcement, including our Pennsylvania lawmakers who proposed a bipartisan Public Integrity Commission to give broader authorities to our Pennsylvania prosecutors. Many of them already won convictions against judges in the Middle District. When you look at these pieces of components of information, do you have child support enforcement? Were your children taken from you through lack of due process? You did not get due process. Was a mental health evaluation ordered for you? Did you have interface with Philadelphia Parking Authority all at the same time? Was your business destroyed? Were you defamed in your community and blacklisted and couldn't get a job because of slander that was made and hovering a false arrest over you? So these pieces of component on this free sign-up form allow you to register your interest in being one of the class action plaintiffs that are going to seek individual accountability, not complain about existing rules, policies, and procedures, but we have an administrative solution for measuring who was willfully complicit over and over again, acting in serial criminal fashion, abusing their official positioning to do so. Mayor Michael Nutter has too many conflict of interest with multi-million-dollar billing contractors and is siphoning and embezzling Recovery Act funding intended for the ethical and effective deployment of law enforcement instead of where it's supposed to be going.
What hurts me the most is that the city council in 2001-2007 allowed the parking authority, which is now the Administrative Adjudication, Bureau of Administrative Adjudication, which we know as the Parking Authority, to have complete authority to make rules as they go along. We know that that's out of compliance already. Nothing in this country is mandated for anything to hurt us without due process. And right now, there's no due process. So we have all these city council candidates as well as existing incumbent candidates, and they're not talking about the parking authority violating our civil rights. Why? Are they too powerful? Do they have so many personal interests in there? I don't understand why even the candidates themselves that's running for city council at large, except for Lawrence P. Clark, has even stepped up to the plate and said something is going on. And he at least helped file an injunction and a restraining order.
But the hope that we have now, as we recognize that we qualify as federal crime victim voters, we can cease acting as disenfranchised assault victims, which we are, and we can actually organize using the free and low-cost services of the internet technologies, the social networking sites to find each other and galvanize, organize our voter clout so that our candidates, they don't have to take up our banner about any one particular agency or issue, but we can require all candidates and existing elected officials to recognize our evidence when submitted. So we are going to demonstrate federal crime victim voter clout tomorrow when we go through the polls, send a clear message, cross party lines, send a clear message, unethical elected officials are removed. Let it be that federal crime victim voters is a coveted endorsement. Our first endorsement we are proud to give as an organized voter constituency, tragically far too large, is to traffic court candidate Lewis Harris Jr. Vote for traffic court candidate Lewis Harris Jr. tomorrow in the primary election here in Philadelphia. This is Roxanne Grinage, www.HireLyrics.org.
My name Lewis Harris. I'm running for traffic court judge, and I will defend our people on all levels of the motor vehicle code, including the parking authority, which most people think we have no jurisdiction over. We have a right as citizens with a higher power than even the courts, and that is our inalienable right. We have a right to be free. We have a right to fairness. We have a right to transparency. We have a right to uncompromised and complicated, less complicated system to either handle our violations or to challenge our violations. So I'm here saying that tomorrow, after May 17th, you're going to see that you have paid these people back by putting me in that office. And I will not, and I'm saying this on the record, I will not honor anything coming from the parking authority as far as the traffic court is concerned until there is an investigation on their operation.
If you need help getting to the polls tomorrow, all the way there, I'll come and get you. Call on my toll-free number, 888-589-1110. That's 888-589-1110. We'll come and get you anywhere in Philadelphia County. Find out exactly where it is you're supposed to be. And on the way, we will tell you it's perfectly okay to cross party lines and vote for anybody but Michael Nutter, and show you how to make sure you vote for traffic court candidate Lewis Harris Jr. Call me, Roxanne Grinage, 888-589-1110, www.HireLyrics.org. God bless everyone.
And you can go to my website, which is www.lewisharrisjr.com. And you can also call my number. It's 215-651-4757. We intend as a team, as everyday citizens, to make sure that people feel that they have the ability to change things when other people think that they can't be changed. We're going to change things today, we're going to change things tomorrow, and we're going to change things after I get into this